Everybody, I want to talk to you guys today a little bit about why I love Bitcoin so much. One of the reasons is I consider it a solution to a problem in the world with charities. So, charities have all kinds of problems and not for profits. So one of the big ones is basically they're not regulated, so they can pay themselves as employees whatever they want. So if they make $1 million that year, they could pay themselves 700,000, 900,000, 200,000, whatever they want. And so there's nobody stepping in and saying like that's unethical. If you care about this thing you're raising money for, you probably wouldn't be living such a luxurious lifestyle. So that's one thing right off the bat that's horrible about charities. Another thing is they write all kinds of stuff off. So you'll notice even like some of the best cancer non-for-profits in the world or food drives and things, you'll have somebody who raises the money, but they're flying from A to B in first class. So I mean, like the difference between a first class flight and a regular plane ticket in passenger is ridiculous, right? Like we're talking like 10 grand sometimes differences in a flight, and so that and chauffeurs, they get chauffeurs to drive them around in limousines and stuff, and so sort of like maintaining an image thing and sort of like an elitist thing, but basically like who are these people if they care so much about these issues to take so much money and put it into their lifestyle, themselves, their quality of life. You'd think that people who run these things would care more about the charity or the people they're trying to help, right? And so that's a big problem. Another big problem is you get like rich people who like to almost like launder their money through charity. So what I mean by this is like you'll have like somebody who makes a ton of money and their spouse will open up a charity or a non-for-profit, and what they'll do is like they'll throw a party for all their friends. And so they'll throw a party, they'll invite all their friends over, they'll give them like fancy alcohol and snacks, they'll have all kinds of like people there to serve and entertain, right? And so the party will cost a ton of money, and then what they'll do is they'll write it off as this charity, right? So they'll say this was an event for the charity, and so they won't be taxed on all the money they spent, whereas normally all this money they're spending they would be taxed on, right? Or they'll receive money at an event, and it'll just go to pay for the event itself, and it won't go towards the actual goal of the organization. And then another big problem is all the stuff that are like big issues that they know people care about, that people are always going to give money towards. There's already somebody who's got their foot in the door and is putting tons of money into getting all that money. So what they're doing is like if they're a cancer non-for-profit, they got their foot in the door, they do the most advertising. When people think about donating money towards a cancer research group, they think of this group, and so what happens is it's very unlikely if you start one for the same reason that you would ever get those people's support, unless you did it in a way that said you're going to make the money go further than this one, and then you're bringing down that other organization, which probably has some really gray area, because if people are helping people, even if it's not enough to you, do you want to stop them from helping people? No, you want them to keep helping as much as they are, at least, right? And so why do I love Bitcoin? Bitcoin is like the only thing I've ever found that like by buying some for myself, I'm supporting everybody in its network. So if a charity buys some Bitcoin, if a country buys some Bitcoin, if people in a third world country buy some Bitcoin, if a billionaire buys some Bitcoin or a huge corporation buys some Bitcoin, it's all the same. By me buying some, I'm supporting them all. And by them buying some, they're supporting me. Basically, by buying a piece, of Bitcoin, you're securing the network, right? And you're eating up some of the supply, which by eating up some of the supply, it strengthens all the existing Bitcoin that people own, because there's less of it. It's more likely to drive the price up, right? And so I don't think there's ever been anything else in the world ever that by buying some for you, you support everybody else who's bought some. And like I said, it doesn't discriminate. So it doesn't care who you are, if you're rich or poor. Everybody's going to be treated the same. It doesn't matter if you're a terrorist or you're a charity. You're going to be treated the same. Everybody's going to be treated the same. And in the long run, I think what it'll do is like, where people think it supports terrorist organization, I think where people misunderstand the psychology behind it. Because, you know, why do people join gangs and terrorist organizations and things like this? Is usually because they lack opportunity in life, right? They come from a place with very little opportunities. They have high stress in their lives, so it makes them worse at making decisions, right? And then as soon as something, usually the thing that's going to be offered to them as an opportunity is like one of these bad ones, like join my gang or join this terrorist organization, right? And like it's somebody who's been dying to give their energy somewhere. They have all this energy to give to the world, and there's nowhere to give it. There's no opportunities to put that energy anywhere. And so finally somebody's given them somewhere to put that energy, and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you, you see me. And so there's this one, it's the only person who's ever gone out of their way to give you an opportunity. And two, you know, you're thinking, I have so much to give. I'm really going to go far here, right? So if it's like, I'm going to sell drugs, I've been waiting my whole life to have an opportunity to make money. If it's selling drugs, I'm going to give so much more energy than most people give because I've been waiting so long to give this energy. So I think with Bitcoin, what will happen is it gives people these opportunities more for creating wealth and creating, having an asset that they can leverage to create credit and things like that. So giving people opportunities they never had in their lives in places that lack opportunities. So I think it'll actually take away from those evil organizations and evil groups and evil people. I think it will solve. I really do believe that Bitcoin will solve all of the problems that money has created and corruption because of money has created. And so I'll make other videos about that, but that's my video for today. Let me know what you guys think. Smash up the like, subscribe, and I'll be making some cool fundamental and perspective videos on Bitcoin. Let me know what you guys think.